and welcome back to the Champion Draft Series. I'm your host, Pink Ghost.
And I'm Joey, a CDS Omega fan. This past week we had some very exciting matches with some upsets, close calls, and surprises along the way, right, Ghost?
Absolutely, so let's not waste another minute and hop right into this week's recap.
The Empire's Gladiators have had some challenging matches this season, and the undefeated Canadian Chimeslice were up next for them. It started off rough when Shadok's Ilaoi was able to push through enough damage with its tentacle power, but Sir Chaman still had plenty of threats in his roster, including the frequent Cosmic Call, as well as the Twisted Fate plus Sunken Temple combo. While it was hard fought and very close near to the end, Sir Chaman proved that no one in this series is actually undefeatable and took the win to climb up the leaderboards.
That game was so hard. Oh my goodness. Why was that game so hard?
Now, while Los Cholangas has brought a pretty similar roster throughout the season, they decided to change it up a little bit this week, instead bringing a Riven Viego deck. But while their lineup was full of threats, Foxborough FC came prepared for the challenge. Cephalopod was able to impress us all by leveling Jack on turn 5 and running over Seraphine with his overwhelming mana and power. And of course, this week's matches took place before the Cosmic Calls nerfs, so Soraka allowed Foxborough to play many large Celestials on the field. Unfortunately for Slay, it was too much pressure, and Foxborough FC has taken their lead in the standings.
So long, friend. It was a valiant battle, but unfortunately, my Cosmic Call deck drew Cosmic Call. So, good game.
The Pearl King made its CDS debut from the Redeemed Qualities roster this season, bringing a swath of pearls to swarm dizimando o RNG. But L Game still had a few tricks up his sleeve, utilizing his newly traded roster to bring 3 Mistwraith decks this time round. Speed's Bandle deck and Portal Storm struggled to produce the fearsome blockers needed to survive, folding to the fearsome lineup once, but some well-timed buff spells were able to help the qualities hold the lines, giving them the 2-1 they needed to take the lead in the standings.
Não deu não. Foi o estilaço lá, velho. Foi o estilaço. Ó, a gente era pra ganhar de 2-0 o deck de poro, pô. Falar nada não, mas...
Last week, Foxborough FC succeeded in countering the Ionian Idiots roster, and this week, the Bandle City Buster Shots were looking to do the same, now with Samira on their team for some good old Noxian access. But things started looking bleak when Majin's Rise was able to shoot down Bust's Yordles one by one, made even harder when he failed to draw timelines in Game 2. But some cheeky landmark removal and well-timed champion drops allowed Bust to tie the score regardless. Game 3 was an incredibly tense match, both players trying their hardest to leave with a positive score. But in the end, the Sumpworks Monument protected Majin long enough to come out on top. Well played to both players.
Get there with the 2-1. Let's go. That was close. That was so spooky. I hate when it comes down to a puff cap coin flip, man. Oh.
While players may be limited to the drafted champions here in the CDS, having access to various region tools can allow players creative ways to counter their opponent, proven this week by the Windswept Warriors. While Galio and Udyr have been paired together these past weeks, this time the Mage Seeker Jr. joined the party to limit the spells playable by Roji's Action Varus. And while in Game 2 Jason could not find his Glorious Evolution, stealing valuable strike spells with Skip and keeping them forever with a spicy, unyielding spirit was enough to earn Jason another win for the season. No Yasuo required.
And I've got Jay Sensational here with me to talk about this previous week's experiences. Now, Jason, I'm pretty sure Unyielding Skip was not part of your original plan, so what was it, and how did it evolve over the course of the match?
Yeah, so I'm playing a Curious Shellfolk Glorious Evolution deck, and I just didn't have Glorious Evolution in hand, but I did manage to create a copy of Flash of Brilliance, which creates, you know, a 6+ mana spell, and if I rolled into Glorious Evolution, that would have been nice as well, but it just so happened that I had nothing to do that turn. I just kind of rolled the dice, see what I hit, and out came a unyielding spirit that just so happened to, I guess it won me the game, but it was definitely a little bit of a surprise and a welcome one for sure.
Now, Jason, you started off this season with a loss, but now you are currently tied for first place. Do you think you can keep this momentum going against your next opponent, L Games, and their team, Dizimondo ORNG?
I sure hope so. His lineup is a little bit more interesting, where I think he has shown to be able to play two sort of lineups that are kind of on opposite sides of each other. One being like the very slow side of things, and the other being the more like fearsome, aggressive side of things. I'd feel very confident if he decided to bring 3 slow decks, but into the fearsomes, some of my existing decks that I've brought, which have done well, are likely to struggle. So I have to rack my head for a lineup that is compatible against that. So it's probably one of the harder weeks so far, but we'll have to see what I come up with.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck with that match. I certainly can't wait to see the results. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Well, that's everything to recap for this week, but stick around for this week's Pick'em winners as well as the schedule for tomorrow's matches.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter and join our Discord to get all the updates for this current season.
And make sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube for everything Champion Draft Series. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Joey, for helping me on the cast today, and we will see you all next week.